Streaming live, this is News Nation Now.
And a good, finally Friday to you. The fall streaming season, I believe, kicks off in earnest today. Thank you so much for joining us for News Nation Now. I am Aaron Nolan. The Mandalorian is finally here. Season 2 is here. I've got a friend, though, that is here with me as well. Dean Richards joins me now. He is a film critic for WGN-TV. Dean, thanks so much for joining us.
When you were talking about that you've got a friend here, I thought you were talking about your coffee mug.
Oh, yeah, I do have this coffee mug. But, Dean, you know what else I can do here? Check this out. I've got the child with us as well.
Oh,
yes.
Very nice.
Yes, he
very
is.
nice. That's fancy.
Dean, all right, so first off, let's talk about the streaming season. Obviously, with the pandemic, streaming services have been going through the roof. Netflix recording really big numbers. What do you see different from the movie house versus these streaming series that are becoming like movies? Mandalorian's a great example. 8 episodes, 30 minutes each, 4-hour movie, basically.
Well, it's a 4-hour movie, and it pretty much has put the Disney Plus platform on the map. That it didn't hurt that Hamilton was also there, but when Disney Plus first came on the air, its biggest draw was season 1 of Mandalorian, and it's arguably the most popular streaming series that's out there right now of anything, commercial television, cable channels, of anything right now. So, I mean, this is the new wave, and the pandemic, movie houses all over America being shut down. This is changing the way that people are getting their entertainment right now. And in the beginning, people went kicking and screaming to the streaming services. After this long period, they kind of fell into it, or just felt like they had to sign up for it. And now it was very interesting that when the movie Tenet came out, the Christopher Nolan movie, which was supposed to be the big movie that was going to come out this summer. That was kind of the
July 4th Memorial Day blockbuster, right?
Supposed to be, that was the barometer of whether or not people were going to go back to theaters. And even though it was Christopher Nolan, and even though it had a lot of things going for it, I actually just kind of gave it a tepid review, to tell you the truth. People did not go back for it. They were not comfortable, and they still are not comfortable going back into the theaters yet. So, I think that's where we are with our movie going right now. People are enjoying that they can binge watch a whole series. Which I will point out is not the case with The Mandalorian. Not the case with The Mandalorian. It's
I hate, but I love, right?
Yeah, you know what? I sort of like it. Yeah. I like that it's kind of old school. Tune in again next week for our next exciting episode. Every Friday through December is when they're going to be dropping new episodes of The Mandalorian. So I do kind of like that. I happen to be one that I can't binge more than 3 or 4 episodes of anything at one time. So I don't mind having to wait a week. And it actually gives me something to look forward to. Something to do in these crazy times.
All right, if you're just now joining us here on News Nation, Dean Richards joins us.
Both releasing movies in theaters for a few weeks. That's so it can become eligible for Academy Award nomination. It has to be in theaters for a certain amount of time before the end of the year. That's been the traditional ruling, unless they change that because of the pandemic also. But as of right now, Netflix has been dropping their movies in theaters and then putting them on their
All right, let's break down The Mandalorian. I'm a geek when it comes to Star Wars. I thought that this was really well done. Jon Favreau has done a fantastic job, in my opinion, on creating a new world that is related. It can touch Star Wars, but it's technically a brand new story.
Right.
story. Your thought on season 1 and the expectations for what's coming up in season 2?
Well, you know, season 1 was, to me, the perfect introduction to all of this, and whether or not a television platform, a television format, series format, would even work for The Mandalorian, and it certainly did. It grabbed the attention of people who are Star Wars geeks like you, like me, who live and breathe Star Wars, you know, but are skeptical about new things that are introduced. Mandalorian, I think Jon Favreau really understood what made Star Wars appealing, and he gave you just enough of it. I have only seen the first episode right now. I'm not going to tell you anything about it.
Please don't. I haven't watched it yet.
I don't want to spoil anything, but I will tell you that I think if you're a Star Wars geek, you're going to be a little more satisfied with what I've seen so far, at least for episode 2. I will also tell you, and I don't think that this is anything that's too much of a giveaway, that they're bringing in some really interesting perspectives to tell the story. Jon Favreau is the executive producer of The Mandalorian, but he also directs at least one episode of season 2. He's got people like Bryce Dallas Howard, Ron Howard's daughter. I'm sure she's not sick of that coming up every time you say her name. She's a very accomplished actress in and of herself, and also is an accomplished director, but she will direct an episode that we'll see later on in the season. We're also going to see Robert Rodriguez, who's an amazing director, who will direct an episode later on this season. So some unique visions and different perspectives of telling the story. The storyline of The Mandalorian and the child continues for the season, and I think from what I've heard and from what I've seen so far, Star Wars geeks are going to be a little more satisfied this season, even more so than they were last time.
I'm pretty pumped about it, and I want to get your opinion on the third character that is on our screen right now, the child, if you will, affectionately known as Baby Yoda. When you talk about pop culture, George Lucas 30 years ago really grabbed it, 40 years ago. And it seems like it's there again with this character. The name of the series is The Mandalorian, but it all centers around this guy on your screen right now, the child. I love it. My kids love it. My kids, this is my daughter's. This is not my toy. This is my daughter's doll.
Of course, of course. You know, the only thing that makes me sad about this is that the Disney company that owns all of this now, is barely breaking even with any kind of money in merchandising this character. It's like, it's been part of the success of the Star Wars legacy from the beginning of having the play figures and the toys, and this continues now. I think there's cereal. You probably know this better
than
I
the
do
cereal
with the kids, but
I wish I had the cereal. I mean,
all kinds
I have the cup.
There's kinds of at our TV station downstairs. There are more than one or three people wearing Baby Yoda shirts today in honor of.
I had an ugly Christmas sweater and I couldn't find it this morning.
See, that's what he says.
Yeah,
anyway.
That my wife probably threw that away.
It's amazing. I mean, and that's part of the appeal of all of this. That this becomes family viewing.
Sure, absolutely. All right, before you go, one more.
Product. And I think there's plenty of quality product. We're going to see in the next month and a half or so as we approach Christmas time, traditionally the big time of year for the big movies to come out. Ron Howard has got a brand new movie that's going to be coming out. Oscar nominee David Oyelowo has a big movie that's coming out that's going to be on Netflix. But, their series. This weekend also, I have to bring up, it's really, The Mandalorian is going to be the big watch for this weekend, but season 4 of this travel and food documentary called Somebody Feed Phil.
I've watched the one on Chicago, yeah.
With Phil. The price line is still pretty reasonable.
Okay.
If you were to go to the movies with your kids and buy popcorn and get drinks and candy, you're going to be dropping a lot more in one single movie going than you are for a Netflix
That's a good
subscription.
point. All right, have you watched The Queen's Gambit yet?
I have not.
It's fabulous.
I have not.
I streamed it. I binged it in 2 days. It's very good.
You're a binger.
I know,
You're a
and that's
binger.
where this little dude over here, Baby Yoda, I don't even know what I'm going to do with you, only getting you 1 day a week. Dean Richards, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you
Pleasure.
taking the
Good to
time
see
from
you.
WGN
Sure
TV.
thing.
We appreciate it. That is all we've got today. Again, The Mandalorian Season 2 starts on Friday. Netflix expect a price increase. We'll have all that information on News Nation Now and much more coming up tonight. On WGN America, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Dean, again, thank you. We appreciate you. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you a little bit later here on News Nation Now.